What is up, champs? Champion Trucker coming back at you with a new video. If you're new, make sure to hit that subscribe button for more trucking content and hit that like button if you're a returning viewer or you just simply like this video. We're going to be talking about the collapse of trucking part 2, and in this one, do we really have a truck driving shortage, or do we just have a shortage of good truck drivers? And with that being said, we're also going to be looking at a solution that some people are trying to create due to the fact, I guess, that there is this shortage going on. Let me know down in the comments below before we get into this video. Do you think that there's actually a collapse happening, or am I just insane and keep on reading a bunch of articles that stem to absolutely nothing? I hope it's the first one. But with that being said, without further ado, let's roll that intro. Freightwaves.com BLS says fewer truck transportation jobs in 2023 than first estimated. Warehouse jobs reported through 2023 also revised downward. Oh my gosh. So we all know warehouse, trucks, truck go to warehouse, warehouse loads the truck. They probably, picked and handled. I was in the warehouse, so it's a hand-in-hand process. So without one hand shaking the other hand, well, then we have a bigger problem. So we're gonna go ahead and read over this. This was actually published in February 2024, and so a lot of these trucking reports are gonna be a year from 2023 because we have the numbers. The Bureau of Labor Statistics said back in August that its annual employment model revision was likely to show a large drop in the estimated numbers of 2023 truck transportation jobs when it came out in February. On Friday, the agency delivered on that forecast. On top of that, it sharply revised downward the number of 2023 jobs in the warehouse as well. The key number in the data is that a month ago, when the BLS came out with its regular report on the number of truck transportation jobs, the agency said there were 1,586,300 jobs in the sector in December. When the latest report was released Friday, the revision showed that in December there was actually 1,553,300 jobs in truck transportation, a drop of 33,000 jobs. So they were saying, oh yeah, there's a truck driving shortage. So if there's a truck driving shortage, what is the contribution, and what happened to the 33,000 jobs? I almost said $100 or something like that, but where did those jobs go? And if you guys want more on that, we can actually see truck transportation jobs. You can see that in February, the original is higher. Always, everything is higher, it's inflated, and then the revised is it's cutting. It's just cutting the whole year. It said, oh, we got a bunch of jobs. There's not a truck job, or there is a truck driving shortage. Look at all these jobs. But then all of a sudden, oh, look at that. There's not a single month where it showed that this revised was above the orange. So we're gonna see how they want to fix this supposed truck driving shortage. We're not only just getting the full amount of jobs projected, but they got a solution for us. Watch this.
All right, Aaron, thanks so much. The shortage of truck drivers in the U.S. is getting worse.
It's getting worse. It's getting worse. But yet we're cutting jobs, 33,000 in 2023. Hey, it's getting worse, I guess. All right.
The American Trucking Association estimates the industry is short about 80,000 people. That's the largest gap the industry's ever.
And when they say 80,000 people, they mean 80,000 good truck drivers that's going to stick around and do the crappy jobs.
Ever faced. And to help, companies are offering bigger hiring bonuses, and there's a push to cut back the number of consecutive hours that drivers can be on.
So not only that, they want to cut down your hours, and so that means that it's a lot of these guys, they don't understand this field. So crunching hours actually makes the job more stressful. Who the heck wants to? That's why they have the bonuses. That is a concern. When you got a $10,000 bonus, you gotta understand they ain't giving you $10,000 for free. They made that money back in the first 3 loads that you went ahead and said, oh, you know what, I'll go ahead and go across state in 2 days.
On the road.
Some are turning to technology to help solve this problem.
Oh.
Ford has a story from Texas.
Oh.
So you hear that audio?
All right, so hold on. Before we jump into it, I brought you guys this video because they believe in order to fix this problem with the truck driving shortage is to let a computer control an 80,000 pound semi truck, and they've been doing it in Texas. And so we're gonna see exactly how they plan on operating this, making people feel comfortable. You'll get it all, but if you guys want the full video, we're not gonna see the full thing. If you want the full video, it's down below.
Ford has a story from Texas.
So you hear that audio? Now the truck is engaged.
This is a view of I-20 from inside the cab of one of Kodiak Robotics' autonomous big rigs. Behind the wheel is our safety driver, Rob. Next to him, right seat op.
So he's a safety driver. So is he a truck driver or and this is crazy. Watch what he has to do in order to operate this.
Operator Jeremiah, both a part of Kodiak's development team.
This is the interchange from I-20 to I-45.
At a quick glance, nothing really seems out of the ordinary. If you look closely, you'll notice Rob isn't actually controlling the steering wheel.
So he's hovering. His hands are hovering above the steering wheel instead of touching it. And the problem with that is you're straining your arms a lot more than just placing your hands on the wheel, but you can't do that because the computer wants to operate the way it wants to operate. Of course, it's going to take some time. What they're going to be doing is they're going to be sending a truck to like lay out all the construction zones, everything like that, and so it's gonna I don't know, it's a mess. Let's just keep watching it.
Nor is he pressing the pedals. Instead, each movement is being controlled by a computer.
Right now, it's driving itself.
Yeah, completely. Yeah.
Walking me through the test ride
See, we'll get up to 65 miles an hour,
is Kodiak Director of Operations
So-
Don
and
Lepper.
then you'll see it reacting as vehicles are pulling in front, as cut-ins, merges, things like that.
As we
Wow. So I'm gonna have to pause it right there and just say this. I know that everything new has a process, but I can't help but just say that since we had a cut of 33,000 jobs, and pretty much the projection is above what the actual rate of trucking jobs are, we think that the solution to make up for, and this could be honorable, a lot of things that are started, they have a good moral intention, but it seems like companies want to get on this, and we're seeing that in about 5-10 years time, this is going to be something, and they're going to have blacked out mirrors, and so people don't look in there and it's like, oh, what the
Things like that.
As we drive, a slew of sensors, radars, and cameras mounted around the truck's exterior are collecting information, sending it to the server to make decisions.
I can't help but just be like, yeah, there's so many times where my truck like cuts off of connection. It's like nobody's in there, no truck driver, nothing like that. And you know, you just have this the like no connection, can't find connection, and it goes, oh man. But it gets more interesting. Let's go ahead and head on over to the next article. Okay, so we're on Reddit, and this is r/truckers. This was actually uploaded or questioned. I don't know, it's not really a question, but it's mainly just kind of talking. And this is by HTrucker1130. The driver shortage isn't real. This is going to be for those that really want the information. So by the time I get through this, you're going to probably either be bored or you're going to be like, wow. So the driver shortage isn't real. So I own a small one trucking operation in Michigan. A couple of months back, I decided to test this theory of the driver shortage to find out just how badly companies are looking to hire. So I started shipping around my resume. For context, I have 20 years of driving experience on top of 3 years worth of running my own company under my own authority. A sparkling clean MVR, no accidents, no failed, reused drug tests, no convictions. And before I started my own company, I tended to stay at least 3 years in a position on average. should be a pretty good chance I'd find a job, right? Well, after 2 months of sending out my application to 30 plus companies looking for a local driving job, I've managed to get a whopping 3 interviews and 0 job offers. Technically, 1 is still up in the air, but as of now, I'm not counting it. If there was an actual shortage and companies were as desperate as they claim, I should have recruiters falling over themselves to hire me, right? Or am I missing something? Oh boy. So good jobs have never had much of a shortage. Very physical jobs and low paying jobs have and will always have. Like around me, most of what's hiring is $22 an hour for dump truck work or well-paying food service. So that's typically around like my area. He probably either lives in a place that you don't have to make too much money, but like places out west and out east, like I'm talking about out east, it's hard. I applied for one hazmat position that wanted to pay $24 an hour. Out here it's like $30. So that is laughable. I literally bust out laughing at them on the phone, apologize for the outburst, and wish them the best of luck. So there are some hazmat companies that they'll pay like 32, 33, 34. So to know that they're paying 24, you could actually get paid 24 and sit at a desk. And that's the biggest problem. Trucking in the money that you make it's not the same. So this is the one where it gets very detailed, and I say if you care about trucking, stick around for this. Here are some of my observations. I recently got my CDL and I've been looking and have been very unsatisfied with my prospects. I have a background in retail management and IT. There are some similar patterns in retail. The shortage is very specific: terrible, unattractive positions, undesirable shifts, undesirable routes, undesirable work commitments. Like OTR, 8-hour days, 40 hours a week with no overtime pay. So yeah, that's just like kind of one example, but really the OTR is like you'll be working like 68 hours. They want filler employees. The desirable position for full-time persons are filled up. They need some flexible people to cover, and I'll talk about this, cover vacations, downtimes, seasonal surges, etc. Easy to pay off people. They want people who will work for rock bottom pay but have some experience under their belt. That was gotten somewhere else. That was gotten somewhere else. There's downward pressure from manufacturers and retailers. Amazon and others keep promising free shipping. Consumers keep believing that shipping should be free or nearly so. And honestly, I don't think that everything we get should be free with shipping. I think that, okay, the Prime, you pay for that. I honestly think it's kind of low. I know some people will be like, well, what are you talking about? This is a mega. It's like you can get the same package within the same day. You order it at 5 a.m., you can get it at 4 p.m. So it takes manpower, but they do have companies that help and stuff like that. So there is ways, but I do think that is killing a portion of the business, which is transportation. Employers want the pool of candidates to be as large as possible so they can push for those lower wages. Now you got junior colleges and private groups pushing training to anyone who can breathe. The government is happily providing dollars to help support that. Pay overall is poop, but still arguably better than retail. Why there are so many truckers who are anti-union and anti-regulation is stunning. Honestly, it is. And if you guys want to read the rest, that'll be down there. I know I stumbled over a couple of things, but I thought it was just absolutely I gotta sign in, but I thought this was absolutely golden, and a lot of you guys down below probably commented. That's why I say comment down below if you guys think that this collapse is real, or what do you think about it. So let's go ahead and finish off some remarks. And I do want to show one last video. This is going to be very interesting, and I highly suggest that you head on over and subscribe. But let me give you guys my remarks. So at one point on YouTube, a lot of people knew about Champion Trucker, the name, and they would follow and they liked the journey. But the biggest problem that I was facing in the beginning was I was hopping around. And to be honest, at the time that I joined trucking, it wasn't at its like peak. You could get in, find a job quite easy and actually build up. And I would jump around, not really wanting to do like stick with something because I thought it was too hard or I faced adversity, and I was a little bit of a little baby. I'm gonna be honest. I didn't put my grown man pants on. I didn't want to get uncomfortable. I was already uncomfortable, right? Being a truck driver, I didn't want to go the extra mile and just reveal myself. So when I got out there, you know, I went to Cisco, I went to McLean, I went to PFG, and I went to JB Hunt. And so all these different companies that I was, you know, with, it turned out that if I stuck with them, I would, you know, later on be a lot better. Of course, I'm concurrently with the company that I listed off of one of those. But I had to do the work. I didn't have a set route. I was a filler guy. I didn't have seniority. And I had to fit in what I could get in. And now I have a route, and now I know typically what I'm going to be doing, and they always find me work. And when it comes down to that, right, you have to understand that, yes, you're going to have to put in your time, and it's going to suck. But I'm going to say that there are people that get lucky out here, or they are willing to put in the work, and it's not going to be easy. And I'm going to show you one of these guys. But I do 100% agree that it is tough. It is tough out here to find a job that is both work-life balance, that you make good wages, because typically some of these guys that are in their 60s is still in the truck. They still keep going. And I mean, we had a whole entire truck driver crash out because he couldn't get his med card. So let's go ahead and head on over to this last video that I want to check out. I highly suggest that you subscribe to this truck driver, and let's head on over there. Okay, so this truck driver is CDLKCO. We're gonna watch the first thing, but my first day on the road with the trainer, day in the life of a rookie truck driver, and I'll explain why I brought him up.
So this is what it's like to be a trucker. Waking up at 2:30 in the morning.
Yep.
You know, I slept pretty good, I ain't gonna lie.
That's good.
But it's been a while since I've had to get up. But, you know, just in general, this damn early, man. Maybe to, like, catch a flight, go to the airport. But it's been a minute since I've just been up at, like, 2:30 in the morning. But we actually got to go work, man. Welcome back to the trucking journey, mother truckers.
All right, so I brought this up for a reason. Like I said, I highly suggest that you head on over to his channel. He's my cousin. And he was talking about how he wanted to have a local job and be a truck driver and a rookie. And a lot of his comments down below talked about, oh, go over the road, do this, do that. And I'm a big believer that you might have a lot of knowledge within trucking. You might have a lot more knowledge than me. But when it comes down to a person's journey, only one person can walk that. And that's him or myself or you. And so when we're behind that wheel, you know, they say that you're the captain of your ship. So typically that is something about life right there. You are the captain of your ship. And so by adversity, a lot of people said it's going to be tough for you to find a local job. It's going to be tough for you to do all these things. He found a local job. It was hard. It was definitely hard. But with all these things that we've seen, I want to bring this all together. We've seen that last year they projected more trucking jobs, and it wasn't true. They see that now those projected jobs that they thought in inflated numbers, they thinking like, okay, let's go ahead and fill these spaces with self-driving trucks. And they're already doing it in Texas. And we're going to have a whole entire video about this. I've already capitalized on this topic before with the AI trucking, and it seems like it's just going under the radar, which is very sad. It is a conversation that needs to be had, but a lot of truck drivers, they just want to watch somebody behind the wheel and vlog, and I say that's great. I say that's great, but we've seen this type of content, and I'm not talking about just my content that you should be watching. I'm saying that this has to be an open dialogue and talk about. Because we seen that back in the 1900s, right? They had 1980s, 90s, they had unions and stuff. I'm not saying get unionized, but right now, we're seeing that the trucking industry is in a collapse. We're no longer what we used to be. Pay is low, and then we're getting AI and corrections and trainings when truck driving used to be about the road and the load. That's it. Pause. So let me know what you think down below. I know this video went long, but it is a topic that this is my career, and so I really want to talk about it. I'm new to this. I've been in it for 3 years, and I hope to continue in it and stay safe within it. But the problem is now I'm faced with the adversity of AI, lies about truck driving shortages, and I'm just hoping that I can stick on my account, stick with the company, build, and go from there. Again, let me know what you guys think down below, and I will catch all of you champs in the next one. Peace.